Welcome to your geopolitical update with Aaron Smokebreak. So today I'm going to talk about our fundamental differences here in the West in regards to what we see going on geopolitically right now. And the biggest thing I'm going to say is it comes down to a simple thing: the eagle versus the dragon. And I say this because, there are definitely surface level arguments to be had here. I'm not discrediting those. But I'm here to talk about the deeper argument, and that is how what seems to be a trade war also carries ideological values that are valued here in the West, and why we're trying to protect America's system because of what it's capable of when properly being used and when Americans are properly united. I don't think anybody in the world will deny a united America is a big force to be reckoned with. So I've mentioned in earlier videos, China, we're definitely different governments, different styles, and we have different ways about going about world affairs and how we are selling why it's better to do business with one another. At the end of the day, governments are nothing but a business. They want everybody to prefer to do business with you, not your competition. America and China had a very good business relationship for a very long time. They took over a lot of our manufacturing and saved American companies a lot of money. But then we started to realize a few things on the American front. And to me, this cataclysm started back when the British Mandate in Hong Kong ended. I've talked about in earlier videos. What you saw in the West was companies start standing up to China, which is something that our system has been very useful for in the West, to give people a voice. Our freedom of press and our freedom of speech, these are two powerful weapons used to vocalize people's voices, not just in America, but throughout the world. And America is one of the most unrestricted Western countries with it. By all means, comment below, let me know. But Google it. America is very unrestrictive, and it is very offensive to inhibit an American's free speech. And yes, they did it to companies with their economic strong arm, but companies help magnify the voice. So I really want people to understand this fact about American culture. You do not inhibit an American's free speech. You just don't. And it does the world favors. It also scares the ever-living shit out of the world sometimes. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not here to argue that. By all means, take the arguments to the comment section amongst each others. I might join in and, hey, I'm all about this conversation, guys. And it's one that we need to have because it's recognizing a geopolitical reality that's below these surface level arguments that we see. And I think it's time we start having this conversation and understanding that Americans view it a lot differently than our Western allies. That's why I release these videos at times, that we can catch the European mind, catch you, my ally, my friend. I was a veteran. I've worked with you guys, the French. I learned don't ever call a Scottish a Brit, ever. Worked with Germans. It was beautiful times, and we've sacrificed a lot. You guys answered a call. But I can see there's ideological differences. And I can see that our adversaries are ignoring this rule-based order you guys have tried to make. And it's not that these rule-based orders didn't come out of good intentions. It's just that we got places like China that have been ignoring them. They ignore patent laws. They do not play fairly under the rules that Europe has tried to make to give the world some sort of function. Good try. But Russia, they rolled tanks over the Ukrainian border. Before that, they've had special forces take over Crimea, guys. These rules are being ignored, and we really, as the West, need to understand the political reality. And the geopolitical reality is real. And it's not just in a, it is an ideological fight at the end of the day, and it sucks, but ideology sells. It gives you preferred business if you can convince people your ideology is the best ideology. I can't control that. We can't control it. I'm sorry that America can't do to Putin or President Z like we did to the president of Venezuela, guys. It's not in the realm of possibility with a country like that. I mean, it's nice to know that American technology against their technology still allowed us to be able to do that, because they were using our enemy's technology here, guys. So if anything, our geopolitical stances, we have proven our military is very capable. We have really kind of put a check in our hemisphere to anyone who's working with China or Russia. And I'm sorry, but we're also putting a check on our European allies on this front. And it's important we come together as the West to understand, for us to work better, that we need to protect these values and not give in to the evil that has helped humanity in so many ways just by giving humanity an uninhibited voice. I'm sorry, Americans are the loudest, guys. We are so loud that you guys know more of what's going on in our internal politics than we know yours, because of how loud we are. You can use this to your advantage, and we can use this to help the world, because, as I've said in earlier videos, and I recommend you watch them, I have said it, you do not block out anyone's voice. Let them say their piece. 99.9% of people can disagree with it, and it's okay. Because when you block that person's voice out, you offend them and you don't make them feel like they matter. That's why Americans are so unrestricted with our voice, guys. We are a melting pot. We have people from all corners of the world. Guys, we let people from Islamic countries that are still third world, and Islamic extremism is still very big, immigrate to our country and live here. We let our literal enemies live here because we are a melding pot. And if we block anyone's voice, that's not conducive to a society that's made up of many different cultures, religions, ethnic backgrounds, even if these are small minorities within the American population as a whole. We see what happens when you block out people's voices. It starts there. It's a slippery slope. So, hey, took me 8 minutes to smoke a cigarette. That's good. It usually takes me like 3 or 4. I'm going to continue this. You guys definitely encourage me to quit smoking, and I love you all. Let's use America's strongest power besides our military to help the world. Our military just backs up our voices, guys. It's not evil. I was in it. It's not. Everybody there just wants to help the world. That's why you volunteer to join the United States military, to help the world. Love you all.